Today we're here in public and in televised with the study of the Fair Elections Act. We have a small amount of community business to start the meeting, and we'll get to Mr. Kingsley as quick after that as we can. I think Mr. Christopherson, you're first.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, on a point of personal privilege, I asked for an opportunity. At the last meeting of the committee was dealing with Monsieur Mayrand and the issues of the bells and the problems and whether or not the deal that was made with the government was honored or not. And at that time, I certainly expressed how unhappy I was with what I consider to be incredibly dishonorable actions on the part of the government. And I personalized it in the form of Mr. Lukiski, because I can only deal with the face of government that I'm given. But I want to go on record publicly, and I appreciate the opportunity, Chair, to make it clear that although I had to focus my remarks on the government member that I was negotiating with in good faith, I believe in my heart that it was not Mr. Lukiski's decision at all to violate that agreement, and I want him to know that I still consider him to be an honorable member, and I look forward to working with him. I hope we can set that aside. I meant what I said, but I did not mean it towards the individual in the way that it could only come across, but I meant it to the government. There's been enough time now for me to say personally to Mr. Lukiski that nothing has changed in terms of the respect that I have for him, and in fact I'm sure it brought great grief to him to see a deal that he made, I think in good faith, broken. So I just want to put it on the record, Chair, that I look forward to continuing a good relationship with Mr. Lukiski and have the greatest respect for him. Thank you.
Mr. Lukiski, very quickly on that one.
Yeah, and it will be quick, and I thank you, David, for your apology. It's certainly accepted. I do have to point out to you, if this is the face of government you have to deal with daily, I have sympathy for you, frankly, more than anything else. Thank you very much, and yes, I mean, respect is mutual, and we'll go on as always, and let's just see if we can make this committee work.
Yeah, and you stole my joke about the face of government. So as the president of the Tom Lukiski fan club, I'm very honored you had those words today. Mr. Christopherson, the next thing we're going to deal with is your notice of motion that we had closed off in the last time. Did you want to speak at all to that?
Yes, Chair, I would. And we did have a steering committee. We had an agreement in order to get to our witnesses and not take too much time that we would take just a moment to state our positions and then allow a vote to take place. This was a motion that I made asking that those who are not affiliated to recognized parties in the House be given an opportunity to participate on this committee in a fashion that has been used before with the review of the Board of Internal Economy. And at that time they were given the opportunity to be at the committee and ask a question during the rounds, and my motion basically is asking that we afford the independents that same opportunity for the very simple reason that I know when we did our review the last time over 2 parliaments, we didn't have representatives there from independents, and we didn't make as good a decisions as we could have. So if we're serious about an election law that's fair to everybody, then we should have those participants here at the table. They would decide among themselves who would be here in what rotation, but I think it would be a signal to Canadians that finally this committee is prepared to start dealing in a fair fashion on a bill that is so important to Canadians, and I hope that we'll have the support of the government, because they're the swing vote here, to allow that voice, that important voice in our electoral process be heard, and that is those of independents who are not part of recognized parties in the House, and I think this would go a long way to improving the fairness of the process we're undertaking. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Christopherson. On the same point, Mr. Lamoureux, and quickly as we can.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to emphasize that the Liberal Party does believe that it's absolutely essential that we provide for an opportunity for the Green Party, the Bloc Party, those that are classified technically as independents, the opportunity to come before committee and get engaged. What we're talking about is our Elections Act. This is a pillar to our democracy. We're all familiar with the manners in which this government has been forcing this legislation through. We understand that there are no other political entities in Canada that is supporting this legislation outside of the Conservative Party, and we should be affording them the opportunity to be able to sit at this table and participate in some of the dialogue that is taking place in regards to, as I say, a very important piece of legislation, one that ultimately could be argued as an election law, is a pillar to our democracy. They have a right, I would argue, to be sitting at this table, and we would ask the government to respect that right and allow for them, because that's the only thing that's going to prevent them. There's no doubt. The only thing that will prevent them is a government decision to disallow that political engagement from the Green Party and the Bloc Party, which we think would be a mistake.
Mr. Lukiski, on that motion, please.
Yeah, very quickly, and I know then I appreciate my colleagues keeping the remarks brief, and then we'll go strictly to a vote. The government will be voting against the motion, David, and I'll tell you why. Independents, frankly, do have an opportunity to participate in this committee as witnesses. We've seen Mr. Bill Casey will be coming. As you know, Bill was an independent the last term of office. We've also stated at any time that if you want to expand the list of witnesses and bring independent members to come and testify, you can certainly do so. So their voices will be heard. But primarily, it'll be setting, I believe, a very bad precedent. One can certainly make the argument that independents should be at every committee discussing legislation. That's not the way the standing orders have been developed, and there's reasons for that. We have a history of well over 100 years why that has taken place. So we want to continue on with that tradition, and if we want to hear the opinions of independent members of how this bill affects them, we have the opportunity to do so.
Okay, on the motion, those in favor? Recorded vote? Certainly we can do that, Mr. Christopherson.
Mr. Christopherson? Yes. Madame La Tendresse? Oui. Mr. Scott?
Oui.
Monsieur Lamoureux?
Yes.
Mr. McKenzie? No. Mr. Lukiski?
No.
Mr. Opitz?
No.
Mr. Reid?
No.
Mr. Richards?
No.
Defeated.
That is defeated. The other piece of committee business we must deal with is the budget for this study. We will be seeing a number of witnesses. For those of you that were at the steering committee today, you have an idea on that number, but since that was a in-camera meeting, we'll just discuss the budget. The budget currently sits at $38,700 to cover the witness cost of this committee, and I need permission from the committee for that.
Move it, but a question?
Fire.
I'll be glad to move it, but the understanding is, of course, that if this gets adjusted as a result of other witnesses, then we accept that we'll be making a further submission if need be.
Absolutely. We're starting here with this amount and being as frugal as we can be, but we will not leave anyone out if that's the case.
Thank you, Chair.
All in favor of the budget?
Count on that, Mr.
Pardon?
Count. Vote count.
You want a recorded vote?
Recorded vote.
On the budget. Okay.
Mr. McKenzie? Yes. Mr. Lukiski? Yes. Mr. Opitz?
Yes.
Mr. Reid?
Yes.
Mr. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Christopherson?
Yes.
Madame La Tendresse? Oui. Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Lamoureux?
No.
It carries. Take the coffee away from Mr. Lamoureux.